Here's what's happening this week from Main Street to Wall Street. The jobs report came out on Friday, and we saw non-farm payrolls rise by 157,000. But we also saw unemployment tick up to 7.9%. I spoke to David Wyman, who's an economist at Barnard College, and here's what he had to say about the jobs number today.
And in a way, it looks like not much has changed. The economy, the private sector, non-farm private sector is creating jobs roughly at the average rate over the past year or so. There were some upward revisions of earlier estimates to make job growth look a little bit stronger, again, last year than we originally thought based on the initial releases. But the unemployment rate has not changed. It's still pretty stubbornly stuck just under 8%.
Fourth quarter GDP of 2012 printed on Wednesday as we saw that the economy contracted by 0.1%. Now, most economists were looking for something around 1.1% growth. This wasn't so good, and the Fed, of course, followed it up with their FOMC meeting that allowed for no changes to interest rates and said it would continue its bond buying programs, including $40 billion in mortgage-backed security purchases and $45 billion in Treasury purchases. Now, the Fed also said that growth paused in the fourth quarter of 2012, mostly due to weather and transitory effects. The weather, of course, referring to Hurricane Sandy. And finally, comprehensive immigration reform was on the table this week as the Senate and President Barack Obama stepped forward in a bipartisan fashion to bring up and say, we need to make some changes. Now, of course, this could have some major economic consequences, and I spoke to Hirokatsu Yoshikawa, who's the academic dean of Harvard College School of Education. He had this to say. If wages grow, parents' expectations for their children's schooling increase. And if there is no economic hope in the family, it means that their expectations of their children don't increase over time. Now, he was talking about children who are born in immigrant families where one of the parents is an undocumented immigrant. But this was followed up by Alejandro Portes, who's a professor of sociology at Princeton University. He had this simply to say about those children who grow up with one undocumented parent. He said that children who grow up in America with undocumented parents, those are who make real heroes. That's what's happening this week from Main Street to Wall Street. Check out my story on immigration on thestreet.com. I'm Joe Doe, The Street. Take care.